Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to our vocabulary building part 3. This is our week of vocabulary building. It's great to have you all here with me. So if you're ready to join me in the hangout, feel free to do so. It's just about time for us to get started. All right, for those of you who are just joining, hello and welcome to class. All right, I see that Carly has joined us and she's saying hello. Great to have you viewing, Carly. All right, and let's see, we've got Carlos. Hello, Carlos. How are you doing today?
Hello, teacher. I'm doing great. Thank you. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good today. Thank you very much for asking. So, Carlos, tell us a little bit about your day. How was your day today? Sorry. All right. I'm sorry, didn't quite hear you, Carlos. Carlos, tell us a little bit about your day. How was your day today?
First, my day was pretty easy. Uh, my job it was very regular as always. Nothing
Mhm.
new. After that, I take my little son for to the capoeira class, and then I just arrived in my home. I think 1 hour ago.
Okay.
1 hour
All
ago.
right. All right. Very good. Good. It's nice. It's nice to have relaxing days. Okay, everything just goes normal.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, very good. All right, I see that Carly has joined us. Hello, Carly. How are you today?
Hello, I'm fine. And you?
I'm doing just fine. So go ahead, introduce yourself to us.
Okay. Well, I'm my name is Charlie and I'm from Mexico. Right now I live in San Antonio, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I I'm being here for 2 years ago for 2 years and
Okay.
I'm trying to learn English because
Mm-hmm.
I need it, and I'm father of 3 childs, and that's it for me.
Okay. All right. Very good. Okay.
Oh,
Thank you. Uh-huh.
and it's my first time here, and well, I want to know about this new way to learn English.
All right. Very good. Well, nice. Well, thank you for joining us here at Verbling. Now, you'll see that there's lots of different teachers here, and we all have different teaching styles, and we offer different classes. So what you see today, you probably won't see tomorrow. So there's a lot of variety, and I think that's really nice. All right, very good. Well, as you read in my profile, my name is Carissa, and I am from the United States. I'm from the state of Ohio, but I live in Costa Rica. It's actually stopped raining now, which is nice. It's beautiful and cool outside right now. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get going with our class. So today we're going to do some vocabulary building. Um, the way we're going to do that, okay, we're going to do a couple of different things. We're going to talk about a couple of different idioms, and then we're also going to work on some different vocabulary. All right, very good. I want you to listen for a moment. I'm going to just, well, actually, I'm going to share my screen with you. Give me a second. Let me just do that. Hold on a second. All right, very good. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit. All right, so we're going to actually start off with a story. Okay, now this story is about Reggie the con man. All right, and so you'll notice that it has a couple of paragraphs here, and there are a couple of missing words. All right, so what you're going to do, you're going to read the paragraphs as best as you can, and I want you to try to think of what would be a good word to put in the blanks. All right, and then we're just going to back our way out and talk about the words. Okay, very good. So, Carlos, how about I have you start for me, read the first paragraph, and then I'll have Charlie read the second paragraph, and then we'll go back to Carlos. Okay, let's begin.
I will just guess what a word is missing.
Yep, you can guess what word is missing. If you're not sure, just say you're not sure, and maybe Charlie can help if he's able to.
Okay. Okay. Reggie the Conman. In the scene of crime, there are a few scoundrels who could match the exploits of Reggie Reyes, who also used the names of Reginald Heaven, Ricardo Hermosa, Father Harris, and dozens of other aliases. Reggie's police record principally in Chicago and Baltimore. Reggie's police record principally in Chicago and Baltimore. He was identified with scans that he perpetrated on gullible people. Generally, his favorite target was I don't know, the cheery woman. Ladies, we should have known better.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, let's continue. We're going to go ahead and try to get the rest of our story. All right, okay, Charlie, your turn.
Okay. Dressed as a priest, Father Harris, he was most convincing. However, his method of operation was to find a wallet stuffed with $100 bill outside a supermarket and then appear an unsuspecting woman to share his good fortune. Since there was no identification in the wallet, but first, to establish her credibility, his victim had to put up a sum of money as a testimonial to her good faith. Mr. Emma Schultz, age 72, tearfully told the police that she had withdrawn $14,000 from her bank and placed it in a shopping bag supplied by the helpful priest. He told her to hold onto the bag while he went next door to a lawyer's office to make the sharing of their good fortune legal.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. Carlos, back to you.
After seemingly after
a seemingly Mm-hmm.
After simile, mm, after simile,
Okay. Could we
I don't
say
know.
long or short wait? Which one do you think would work better,
Uh,
long or short?
After seemingly long wait, Mrs. Schultz discovered to her chagrin that the heartless thief had skipped out the back way, leaving her holding the bag, a switched bag containing shredded newspaper, while he made his getaway with her life savings.
Ah, okay. All right, good. All right, now let's try to see what happened. All right. So, let's see, Carlos, what happened in this story? Who is this story talking about?
The stories talking basically are talking about robber, but it's not a violent robber. Actually, he's using I don't know how can I say in English, but he's using a trick or a trap, you could say that. Um, like he's pretend to be a priest, and his mainly target is women um, at the age over 70s, because they tend to be more uh, innocent, ingenuine. I don't know the word.
Mm-hmm.
And actually he using a trap that show her a wallet full of money. But actually, this is a trap. It's only to get his uh, her trust, and then he gets the final. What's the word I could say? It's not a. What's the word when you use a trap to to steal someone?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you
Cheat.
said that.
Cheat.
Haha, yeah. So you can say, yeah, his trick or his con. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, so finally he gets the money at the end. All right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, yeah, that was a very nice summary of what happened. All right. Good. Thank you, Carlos. Good. Charlie, Charlie, there's a lot of noise in the background. Is there any way that maybe you could turn down the television or the radio? That it sounds very noisy.
Oh, sorry. Let me do it.
Okay, thank you. Oh God, it's not gonna work. Interminable.
Teacher, there was a very famous recently launched the movie's name is exactly the name that I was looking for to describe this kind of crime.
Tell us about it. Tell me about it.
Was a movie that there's a guy. It's moving happening in 70s, and it's about this kind of crime that there was a guy, FBI guy, who hired some criminals to get to cheat some other bandits, and I forgot the movie's name.
Okay. Yeah, the movie does sound familiar, but I can't think of the name of it either. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. It's good. So you're relating it to something that you've seen already. Very good. Yeah. So let's take a look at the document again. All right. The title uses the expression "the con man." All right. So you said that Carlos. You said this passage is about a robber who is not violent. All right, and we call such a person in English, we call that person a con man. Okay, now it doesn't always have to be man. Okay, you could say a con man, or you could say a con artist. Okay, a con artist. Okay, so they dedicate their time to figuring out how to trick people or how to con people out of their money. Okay, and you made a very good observation. These people are usually not violent. Yeah. Okay. But let's talk a little bit about how they trick people. Okay? Let's see. Charlie. Okay, so according to this first paragraph, how does Reggie Hayes con people or trick people? Looking at that first paragraph, what does he do? Or what does he change?
Okay, he changed his name.
That's right, he changes his name. And what are some of the names that Reggie uses?
Reginald Heaven, Ricardo Hermosa, Father Harris, and dozens of other aliases.
Yeah, good. So there's a vocabulary word for you. Okay, that word is pronounced alias or aliases. Can you pronounce that for me again? Aliases.
Aliases.
Right.
Aliases.
Right. So when someone uses a false name, we say that they are using an alias. An alias. All right, yeah, very good. So he just changes his identity or his name.
Is aliases is like a nickname?
No.
It's different?
Yes, it's very different. It's very different. A nickname is maybe it's a name of endearment. Maybe your family calls you a certain name, or your wife, or your child. Okay, it's just another name that you have, but you're not trying to fool anybody.
Oh, okay.
Right, so everyone knows, you know, if I don't know, do you have a nickname, Charlie? Do you have a nickname?
No, I don't have one.
Okay, all right, so you don't have a nickname. Carlos, do you have a nickname?
No, I don't.
Okay, all right, so no nicknames. Sometimes, for example, people, well, okay, I'll tell you one of mine. I have many. but sometimes people will call me Kay because my name is Carissa. So they take off the Arissa and just call me Kay. All right, so that would be a nickname. All right, but that's not an alias because I'm not trying to fool anybody. All right, now let's take a look at the aliases that he uses. Okay, now let's see, Carlos, why do you think that the alias Father Harris was a good one for Reggie Hayes? Father Harris. What was he pretending to be, or who was he pretending to be?
Oh, definitely he used the aliens to as a father to lessen the don't trust in his person because his target is a old woman and she has no way to untrust in the father with good uh, supposed to be a good action.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so when you think of when people use or when men use the title father, okay, they're referring to themselves as a priest. And actually in the second paragraph, it says that he was dressed as a priest. And he called himself Father Harris. Aha, that's right. Okay, so this was the alias that he used on Mrs. Schultz. Okay, very good. Let's go back up to the first paragraph, okay? It says Reggie's police record principally in Chicago and Baltimore. All right, now we put in the word, I think you put in the word identified, is identified with scams that he perpetrated upon gullible people. Okay, yeah, you could use the word identified. You can. All right, I'm going to type in a different word that you can also use, and we're going to talk about that. Okay, it is replete with. All right, so if I say that something is replete with, I mean that something is full of. Okay, so let's take a look at that again. Reggie's police record is full of scams or is replete with scams that he perpetrated upon gullible people. All right, so is this something that Reggie just did one time, Charlie? What do you think? Did he just con people one time?
Pardon, teacher.
Okay, sorry. I think that he con a lot of people because the police record from Chicago and Baltimore is replete with scam that
Yeah.
he perpetrate.
That's right. It's replete with or full of. So he did not just con or scam one person. He scammed many people. All right, very good. All right, and I think someone was looking for this word a little earlier, the word gullible. Okay, let's take a look at that word gullible. Okay, let's see. I'm sorry, let me welcome Henry to class because Henry joined us. Welcome to class, Henry. How are you?
Hey, how are you, teacher?
I'm doing just fine, thank you. Good to have you here in class, Henry.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, now do you think that, Henry, do you think that a gullible person is easy to con or difficult to con?
I don't know.
All right. Carlos, what do you think?
I think the easiest people or more gullible people that exactly he picked the oldest woman in order to pull it off.
That's right. Okay, so a gullible person is someone who is easy to fool. Okay, so I'm going to put that here. Okay, a gullible person is easy to fool because they readily believe what they're told. Okay? All right, so sometimes con artists or con men target older people and sometimes specifically older women. All right, very good. All right, now let's get another vocabulary word here. It says generally his favorite target was a lady who should have known better. Okay, now you could use a lady, okay, but you could also use a matron. Okay, so there's another vocabulary word for you. Okay, usually a mature older woman is called a matron. Okay, very good. Nice job. All right, now let's go back up to that first sentence. Okay, in the scene of crime, there are few scoundrels who could match the exploits of Reggie Hayes. All right, now there's actually a different word that we're going to use here. Okay, I'm going to give you a word here. In the annals of crime. In the annals of crime. All right, can anybody take a guess? What do you think the annals of crime? Okay, what are annals of crime? Okay, look at the context. What do you think that could be? Is it something that's talking? Go ahead, Carlos.
The background or the history of the recorded crimes
Yeah, there.
registered.
Aha. Okay, so in the history of crime or in the
Yes.
records. Yeah, in the records of crime. Yeah, very good. That's right. Okay. All right. So in all of the history of crime, okay, there are few scoundrels that could match the exploits of Reggie Hayes. All right, now let's take a look at that word scoundrel, okay, so we're still building our vocabulary. All right, so Charlie, do you think is a scoundrel a good person or is a scoundrel a bad person? What do you think?
I think it's a bad person because they scoundrel who could match the exploit of Reggie Hate. I I think that that is a bad person.
Yeah, this is a very bad person. All right, now I want you to think about your city and your country. All right, can you tell us about a scoundrel that you hear about maybe on the news or that people know about in your city or in your country?
Uh, yes, I can. For example, in my country
Mm-hmm.
is Mexico, and
Okay.
we listen a lot of the cartel people.
Mm-hmm.
The cartel people that is people very bad, very crazy, that
Mm-hmm.
they make a lot of felonies and crimes and everything that is bad.
All right, yeah, so you can say that they are scoundrels because they do bad things to people. They're a scoundrel. And really, a scoundrel, too, it involves bad people who are sneaky. They try to hide who they are, right? But they do bad things, all right? Henry, can you think of a scoundrel?
Um, Scandal is people very bad in many country. Um, For example, the politics,
Politicians.
politician is people scoundrels.
Mm. All right, so you would say that politicians are scoundrels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, Carlos, can you think of a scoundrel?
I knew a lot of them because I am police officer, and even 3 days ago, I had to arrest one of the scandal, and and I got in disguised of a person who was supposed to be in military, using a uniform and pretending to be in military, get into advantages and be one a sergeant of the arm, Brazilian arm, and I and I asked some questions, and he mixed them up in some questions, some answers, and I discovered that he actually was not in military, and I had to arrest him. It was funny.
Yeah, so we can say that this person was a scoundrel or is a scoundrel, but also he is a con artist, right? So he tried to pretend, or he pretended to be in the Brazilian armed forces, but in reality, he was not. All right, very good. Okay, let's go back to our passage. Okay, let's take a look at our second. Let's take a look at our second paragraph. All right. So we said that a con artist usually is not violent. Okay, so let's take a look at the second paragraph and let's find out how did Reggie con or fool Mrs. Emma Schultz? How did he fool her? What did he do? Who can tell me, please? How did he fool or trick Mrs. Emma Schultz?
Okay. He dressed like a priest because the people think trust in the priest because it's supposed to be a good person.
Okay, good. So he dressed as a priest. He pretended to be a good person, right? So we could also say that he used the name Father Harris as an alias. Okay, so he dressed up as a priest, and then what did he do? Okay.
Me too? Or anybody else?
Okay, let's see. Carlos, can you tell us what did Father Harris do to trick Mrs. Emma Schultz? What did he do?
Let me remember. I think he used a very old trap, like a shoulder wallet, supposed to have a lot of money, to put down her guard, to show to trust as a trusted person, and another detail. I don't remember what he did after then.
All right. Okay, good. So here we have it. Okay, so he's using an alias. All right, a fake name, Father Harris. To go along with that, he even dressed up as a priest. All right, so then he supposedly finds Okay, you'll see that the word find in that first paragraph, in the second sentence is in quotations because he didn't really find it. He just pretended to find a wallet stuffed with $100 bills. Okay? All right. So then he says to her, he says, okay, all right, let's see, maybe Charlie can tell us. Okay, so he shows Mrs. Emma Schultz the wallet full of $100 bills. And then what does he do, Charlie?
Okay. Okay. The answer is he told her to hold onto the bag while he went the next door to lawyer's office to make the sharing of their good fortune legal. That's it?
Okay, yes, that did happen. All right, but I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to show you something, okay? I'm going to take out the word appear, and I'm going to put in the word implore. Okay, implored. Okay, so implore means to beg, okay, or to ask repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for something. Okay, so he finds this. He has this wallet stuffed with $100 bills. Okay, they're outside of the supermarket, and he approaches Mrs. Emma Schultz and he says, "Hey, I found this wallet, but there is no identification in the wallet."
Oh.
Okay, so we don't know who the wallet belongs to. Okay, so then he says, "Hey, why don't we share the money?" All right. Now, Carlos, what would you do if a priest walked up to you and said that he found a wallet with no identification and told you that he wanted to share the money with you? What would you do, Carlos?
for me particularly, smelling as a hostile because because I'm a police officer and I don't believe in so fortune behavior as this supposed priest.
Yeah, all right. So you might use the expression, "This is too good to be true." Yes, you.
Yeah, what's the trick?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And here's a question that you could ask. What's the catch?
What's the cat exactly? Yeah.
Yeah, what's the catch? So basically when you ask what's the catch, basically you're asking what is it going to cost me? Or what do I have to do to be so fortunate to get this money? All right, because you usually don't get something for nothing, right? Okay, so what's the catch? All right, so, well, what is the catch? Okay, so after he showed Mrs. Emma Schultz the money, what did he tell her she had to do in order to get her share of the money? What did she have to do? Okay, who can tell me? What did Mrs. Schultz have to do?
Oh, he asked her to put in a sum plus cash in that previous sum in order to share a big amount of money to the charity people for the charity.
All right, so to establish her credibility, Now this is deceitful, right? So he wants her to show that she is trustworthy or credible. All right, so he says, well, if you are credible, if you are trustworthy, Mrs. Schultz, then you will show me some money. All right, you're going to give me money, and then I'm going to give you half of what's in this wallet. All right, so Charlie, does that sound like a good deal to you? What do you think about that? Does that sound like a good deal?
No, because if it is because he found a wallet with $100. Who is who? Why he need a proof of my good faith? It's very weird.
Okay, good. That's a great question. All right, so why do you need proof of my good faith? All right, just give me the money. Right? If you're gonna be, if you found money and you're so good, you want to share money with me, just give it to me. Why do I have to show you that I'm a good person? Yeah, good. Great question, Charlie. Nice job. All right, now poor Mrs. Schultz. What happened to Mrs. Schultz? How much money did Reggie take from her? How much money did Mrs. Schultz lose?
She lost it. $14,000. Because she made a withdrawal and take him.
Yeah, that's right. So this is what happened. She took out $14,000 from her bank. Mrs. Schultz, Mrs. Schultz does not sound like a very poor woman. Now, I don't think I could do that. I can't go and withdraw $14,000 from my bank account. I could try, but it wouldn't work. All right, so she's pretty wealthy, Mrs. Schultz. All right, so she takes out $14,000 from her account. She puts it in a shopping bag, and she hands it to to Father Harris. Now, Father Harris gives her a bag. What does Mrs. Harris think is in the bag? Charlie? Sorry, what does Mrs. Schultz think is in the bag?
I think I think she thinks it's a lot of money because he took from her bank 14,000. Maybe he think it's a 50,000 or something like that.
All right, good. So she took $14,000 from her bank account. And so she thinks, okay, she put the money in the bag, she gives it to Father Harris. Father Harris gives her a bag. She thinks it's full of money. Carlos, what is actually in the bag? Was it money?
No, there was only a piece of newspapers.
Oh boy. So she has just a bag of newspaper. All right. So it mentions here that so Mrs. Schultz opens the bag and she sees that it's full of pieces of newspaper. All right. So Carlos, what does Mrs. Schultz do? What does she do next?
I think she she asked for help for the police officer, for the department. I don't.
Yeah, that's right. So she went to the police. All right. Charlie, how did Mrs. Schultz feel when she saw that that bag was full of newspaper? How did she feel?
I think he should be very, very bad, maybe very angry with herself because literally he falls in that tricky.
Yeah, good. Okay. So let's say, all right, I'm going to type your sentence here. All right. So she felt upset with herself because she fell into that trap, or a terrible trap. All right, that's right. So she may have felt very frustrated, and in fact, it says that Mrs. Schultz tearfully told the police what happened. What does that mean, Charlie, that she tearfully told the police?
Where is that?
Okay, I'm going to show it to you right here. All right, so it says that she tearfully told the police.
Tearfully is I don't have idea what mean that word.
Okay, all right. Carlos, can you help us out? She tearfully told the police.
I think she was crying while telling his story for the police officer.
Yes, I'm going to type that here. She cried as she told the police what happened. Right, so she was crying. Poor Mrs. Schultz, 72 years old, and this so-called Father Harris conned her out of $14,000. All right, so Carlos, as a police officer, what do you think should happen to Father Harris? If you were the police officer who talked to Mrs. Schultz, and later you found Father Harris, what do you think the punishment should be for Father Harris?
I'm pretty sure that the money was particularly that I couldn't replace it because I'm pretty sure that he would probably waste it. But definitely, I would try to collect the more proof as I can in order to to send him to the jail for a long time.
All right, good. So you think that he should go to jail for a very long time. Okay.
Exactly. And throw to the keys.
Okay, so you definitely do not want this Reggie to come out of jail. Yeah. All right, very good. All right, so let's say, for example, Charlie. Charlie, let's say that Carlos arrests this man, this alias Father Harris. He's really Reggie Hayes. Let's say that Carlos arrests him, and let's say that a judge finds him guilty and puts him in jail. What happens when he comes out of jail? So let's say he serves his time in jail. Do you think that he will continue to be a con artist, or do you think he will change his ways? What do you think, Charlie?
Well, I'll depend the character of Reggie, because some people in the jail take a good way, a good thing, and he take he go to the Jesus Christ religions, and then took turn himself in good people, but another people never change. All depend of the character of Reggie.
Okay, so you feel that some people never change. All right, yeah, so it's possible that he could change his ways and become a good person. All right, he could stop being a con artist. What do you think, Carlos? What do you think Reggie will do after he gets out of jail?
In this case particular, I think this kind of person has a defiant of behavior, and it's really difficult to change his way of acting. They are always lying. They always pretending to be someone who aren't, and it's a really I personally consider it as a kind of sickness. It's a very very complicated.
Okay, yeah, it is very interesting. Now, Carlos, at the beginning of class, you mentioned movies. All right, can you think of a different movie that had con artists in it?
Yeah, the movie was American Hustle.
Ah, American Hustle. Okay.
Hustle. Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right, good. So yeah, that's one movie that had con
The,
artists.
there's another one with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Mm-hmm.
He's always pretending to be a flight pilot. I don't know if you watched it.
Ah.
Catch Me If You're There, I think.
Oh, Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me
Mm-hmm.
If You Can, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, some other good ones. Yeah, that's good. Charlie, can you think of another movie that had con artists in it?
I can remember one, but let me try. Uh, mm, mm, mhm. Maybe the movie for this guy that play what do you say, that the mm, poker card?
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
He,
Is it
he,
a
he
poker player?
Yeah, the poker player. I can remember the movie title, but this guy is playing from the best guy, and both of them are cons. I think that the big let me think about it.
Okay.
In Spanish, the title was the La Gran Estafa. I think that is the big con or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, like the big con. Mm-hmm. Yep, okay, good. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, good. So now you're thinking about it. All right, let's take that word alias again. Now, Charlie, do you remember what does the word alias mean?
Alias alias mean the full name for a people, but another name, not the real name, and another's name. that the people take from herself for themselves.
Themselves. Yeah. Good. An alias. That's right. All right. Now, if we think of a movie where someone used an alias, maybe the Bourne movies, the Bourne Identity, or the Bourne Supremacy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes, that is one. That is good one. That is very good.
Yep. So the main character used lots of different aliases, and he had lots of different passports. Okay, so he pretended to be someone that he was not.
Yeah, he was a secret agent.
Yeah, that's right. He's definitely a secret agent. Yeah, so a lot of times you'll read about these in stories or in movies, but sometimes in real life, sometimes people are definitely con artists, and you definitely have to watch out for them and not be gullible, not be easily tricked or duped. All right, very good. Well, we got lots of different vocabulary words from our lesson today. I'm just going to scroll back up to the top so you can once again see them. All right, so Carlos, can you tell me some of the new words that you learned today?
Alias. Alias.
Alias.
Alias. What a difficult pronunciation.
Yes, yes.
Alias.
Alias.
Alias. He was arrested to be using an alias. Alias.
Very good. Did you learn any other words today?
Replete with. That means full of something.
Yeah, that's right. Good, good.
And matron. Matron. I didn't know this one.
Okay. All right. Very good. So you learned a few words today. All right, Charlie, what about you? What new words did you learn today?
Oh, for me, in annals, the first one, in the annals,
Annals.
annals. The second one, alias, the replete with, two, and a matron, two. That new, and implored is new to me.
Okay.
That's five. I don't.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. All right, very good. Well, now your homework will be to try to remember these words, all right, and be able to recognize them when you hear them in movies, when you read about them in stories, or maybe when you even hear them on the news, okay, because surely there are different scoundrels out there who are definitely con artists, all right, and they may use aliases. All right, very good. Well, thank you, Carlos and Charlie, for being here in class and participating. It looks like Henry stepped away, and he stayed away for a while, so hopefully he was able to at least listen to the class. Well, I hope to see you all very soon. Have a great evening. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, guys. Bye, teacher. Thank you for the class.
Bye.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.